All right, we're gonna watch Heskin's 5 reasons why Final Fantasy XIV is better than World of Warcraft. All right.
Here are 5 reasons why Final Fantasy XIV is the best MMO. Any long-term Final Fantasy XIV player knows that there's just something specific that makes this game stick out to them more than any other MMO that they've played. But maybe you can't pinpoint exactly what that thing is. Maybe you can't even put it into words. So I'll do it for you. Before we get into it though, I just want to say thank you so much for almost 1,000 subscribers.
Yo! He had 906 subs on YouTube when he made this. Now 13k. Now 13,001. Yep, I subbed, baby.
A week ago, I posted my first ever video at 0 subscribers, and suddenly we're almost at 1,000. I don't even know what to say.
This is second video.
And that being said, if you're new, then
look at the production value. Look at the quality. This is his second video. Yeah, that growth, baby. That's nuts. Hey, it just proves make good content, get good eyeballs. That's probably maybe what they say in the trade.
please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Reason number 1 is
everyone else will too, right, guys?
Yeah, I'm talking about new players coming to this game. I have played dozens of MMOs in my lifetime, trying them out to see which one I'll finally stick around for. But I always felt like such an idiot when getting started. For example, or for comparison, I didn't start playing World of Warcraft until about 4 years ago. And despite that only being 4 years ago, the game has already been out for almost over 15 years since that point.
That's a bad time to
getting into World of Warcraft so late into its life is not
you started in BFA, bro.
Thing. There's no direct path for you to take unless you spend a lot of time either asking players what to do or searching up YouTube tutorials of where you even need to go. And what I've learned is that players absolutely hate you for not knowing every nook and cranny in even some of the first dungeons in the game. And sometimes you can even be kicked for reason dumbass because you're a new player and you don't understand the mechanics yet because you're learning. I've personally never been kicked for that reason, but I've seen it happen to many players in my parties. Final Fantasy doesn't have these flaws. In fact, that type of behavior is actually bannable, which I am so happy about, and that's an entire different reason why.
That's the thing, right? Blizzard with WoW, Blizzard don't do anything about it, so there's no repercussions, so people don't stop, and people don't, like, if there's no punishment for something, what's the incentive not to be a dickhead? What's the, like, other than just being a nice person, right? But they don't even get a slap on the wrist or anything like that. Like, it just gets worse and worse and worse. If you don't get punished for something, then, you know, I mean, it's like not having laws in the world and stuff, right? Like, they say, oh yeah, that's against the TOS. Oh yeah, you need to sign the social contract in WoW. There's like this new thing called the social contract, but it's never enforced. So if it's not enforced, then you're just signing this waiver, which essentially means nothing. Like, it becomes meaningless, right? If you kind of like I said this the other day, like, nip it in the bud as it happens, and people will just be like, oh shit, like, okay, I clearly can't get away with that. Like, I did this one thing and I got like taken to GM prison and stuff. And that's the thing as well. It becomes like a little bit more of a personalization and a little bit more of an experience, right? Because the GM like whisks you away and puts you in a room and they're like, you're a bad boy. It's a little bit like more memorable than like, oh, I got banned. Like, you resent like the GMs and stuff if you get banned, and I think you appreciate a warning if you get probably taken to GM prison or something, right? Like, there's a completely different emotional reaction to the, like, basically the same punishment. Like, either you see it firsthand because it happens to you and you're the one receiving the telling off, and then you're like, okay, fuck, or you hear about it word of mouth, right? Like just in this Twitch chat, it's like, oh, you know, I saw, you know, my friend Jerry, he got put in GM prison or something. Like, they're pretty serious about this shit, so I'm obviously not gonna fuck about because I don't want to go there. I don't want to get my account suspended. But if in WoW you have a friend called Jerry and they're like, oh yeah, you know, I've been like telling people to like go fuck themselves in game for 4 years and nothing's ever happened to me, you know, that guy's probably gonna be like, okay, well, I guess there's no consequences.
why the game is so good. Not only that,
exactly,
but Final Fantasy actually gives you a direct path to take. No YouTube tutorials are required to simply get started with playing the game, which some people could say is a bad thing because you don't have the freedom of choice immediately. Either way, something else that makes it stick out is how well the main story just pulls you into the game while also teaching you to play
Everyone
the game.
loves the story,
I feel like a lot of MMOs force you into the rules and how to play the game. Like immediately you'll be shown a bunch of prompts of like what to do, how to do it. But when it comes to Final Fantasy, it flows well. Over time, you learn how to play the game. You learn mechanics over time. And in other games, that doesn't happen. Actually, in other games, sometimes you're just thrown right into it. So I really like how Final Fantasy eases you into the game, and I think that's a big reason why it's such an accessible game compared to other MMOs out there.
And the free trial is great. One thing I will say about the tips in Final Fantasy so far, they definitely seem a little bit overwhelming, but I think it's just because there's a lot of systems and they just want to explain it all as it goes. The thing about it is that obviously, like, every time you have your first interaction with some kind of system, the little like green exclamation mark pops up and tells you a little bit about it. So it is like a little bit spoon-fed. There was one time it was very overwhelming when I had like 18 of them. Because I forgot to like click them, and I had like 18 of them in a row that I was reading, and that was very overwhelming. It was like reading an essay or something. But they do come in like bite-sized chunks as you go. So I think I probably just had the wrong experience of it. But for most people, it's probably like, oh, this thing happened. What is this? Like, oh, I got a piece of gear. Okay, read about the gear thing, and it's like this and that. So I think they do leave it like they breadcrumb it quite well. Whereas in WoW, like you kind of just like. You get about 5 minutes when you log in where they're like, hit this target dummy. This is what your abilities do. All right. Good luck. Have fun. See you at max level. You better get there quick because that's where all the content is. There's no like, all right, do all the story and this and that. It's just like, all right, off into the world, brave young adventurer who's already beat every single boss in the game. Guardian of Azeroth.
Reason number 2 is the story. I'll admit it, I didn't really love Realm Reborn, and I thought Heaven's Word was okay at best. Please don't kill me, these are just my opinions, but I think that's fine. Early on, their budget was really low, and the amount of voice cutscenes were really minimal, the amount of special effects were minimal, everything was pretty minimal. And again, that's okay, they had a low budget, it's understandable. But once you get into the later expansions, this story becomes incredible. The entirety of Shadowbringers, in my opinion, felt like an awesome interactive movie. I'm just about finished with the Endwalker now, and I feel extremely confident in saying that the story in this game, at least once you get a bit far into it, is a huge factor that grabs the heart of every player. There are players...
I can see that that's true from you vampires over here. Definitely. I actually already think it feels like a movie. Literally one of the first things I said after logging in was like, I had a cutscene, and then I went, I feel like I'm in a movie. It was like literally my first reaction to being inside the game with like the music, with all the little cutscenes and stuff. It does feel like a movie, and like you're just kind of like gently being pushed in the direction. I like that.
Who decide to skip the entire story, and those are the same players that say the game is bad. They're
no
literally
skippers.
Skipping half of the game. And I'll be honest, when I was first getting into it, I did skip part of Realm Reborn. I regret doing that, and that's probably a reason why I don't like it as much as I like other expansions. But once I actually got myself into it, I ended up loving it. So I did go back and I watched all the cutscenes after the fact just to get caught up. Either way, like I said, if you really let yourself sink into the story of this game when it's at its best, you'll fall in love with it. You'll feel this connection with your own character that you don't get to feel in any other game, and I think that's really cool. Like, I've never looked at my own character and felt, oh yeah, no, this guy's cool, he's done some cool stuff, but in this game, all that stuff actually happened, and it's your character, not just a default character that you're forced to play. Reason number 3 is class swapping. I think
that's actually really true. Having that connection to your character, like I talked about this a little bit the other day with WoW. Like, that's why I love that all the jobs are on the same character, right? Because you have one character, and like that character that you've been through thick and thin with, you've played, 18 different jobs on it. It's been in all these different raids and stuff like that. In WoW, I'm very disconnected because I have I have to have like 12 different characters to be able to play all the different stuff. So each character has like different memories on it. Whereas like I think it's so cool that you can have all your memories on like one character here. Like I said, I used my obviously I get some people weren't in the stream the other day, so I'll just go over it very briefly, but. I used to main Hunter in WoW, so I did a lot of my achievements and stuff on the Hunter, right? And I had like all of my reputations and all of these like memories and stuff on my Hunter. And then when Hunter was like bad, or I had to like play a different class for raiding, I had to like kind of not leave it behind, like I didn't delete the character, but I had to like switch over to like, let's say, mage, and I got a completely different set of memories on my mage to my hunter, which I can see like is appealing in one way, because I can be like, oh yeah, that's my mage, I did this and this on it. Oh, that's my hunter, I did this and this on it. But it's like for completionist stuff, it feels really nice to just like, yes, this is my character, this is like my visual representation of like myself and personality in the game, and I have done this. I played, and it's like I played dancer for this. I like, so you can still have that identity, like, and I played red mage on this, and this. So you can still have like the sub branch within that same character, right?
This is an extremely underrated feature, and not many other MMOs at all have this. In fact, this is one of the only MMOs, from my knowledge, that even allows you to level every class and every job.
Oh, he's going to talk about. He's going to say all the same thing.
Is you don't need to keep restarting the game. In other MMOs, if you wanted to try a new class, you'd have to.
He's going to literally say everything I just said.
Stuff you've already done over again. And if you want a third class or a fourth class, you got to do it all again and again, and it's just a huge repetitive grind, in my opinion. In Final Fantasy XIV, you do have to replay stuff. The best way to level your classes is through level roulette, trials, anything on the main page of the duty finder.
Rewatched? No.
Is not nearly as repetitive as other games.
JustRuss
Plus, there's many other ways to get XP, not just the duty finder. So you're not hard stuck on doing repeated content. There are other options. I think being able to switch your class whenever you want makes
he looks so casual.
It also makes it feel really accessible as well. And I don't think nearly as many players would enjoy this game as much as they do right now if this feature did not exist.
I agree with that.
I don't think people would tolerate having to replay so many things just to change their class. That also gives you the option to explore what your character might be the best with. If you think they look really cool as a warrior, then you can try something different, and maybe you'll like that even more. And if you didn't have the option to try out different classes, then the only way to test if your character would look or feel better on a certain class would be to recreate that same character over and over again. Reason number 4 is roleplay. I personally don't do this. I did try it a couple times when somebody tried getting me into it.
Senyun, hey, your videos got recommended and you seem like a really nice and based. Hey, guys, look, Senyun is not a paid actor. Yeah, I'm kind of based. What do you guys think? Yeah, kind of based. Maybe even, maybe in some kind of Giga Chat. Based on what? Based on cringe? Okay, guys. Okay.
And I understand why people love it so much. It's just not something that I personally do. I understand that this also exists in other MMOs, but I feel like it's more accessible in this game. You can change your looks on the fly, meaning your outfit. I know you need a Fantasia to change your actual look, but you can change your hair, your outfit, all that, like on the fly.
This guy's cracked.
So much character customization in this game,
he plays
including your own voice. There's so many hair options for certain races. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting to get my hair options. It's been years. Please. They did add a couple. I'm super happy about that, but I'm not even using any of them because I like my current hair more. Okay, either way, there's also so many emotes in this game. This game has more
MSQ
emotes
after
than
this
any other game I've played. Maybe there's more in Fortnite, but there's a lot in this game. There's basically an emote for everything you might need. Not only that, but the areas are also really cool. People are always building custom areas that look amazing, and even some of the normal areas in this game just look really cool. More or less, I think this is one of the best games for getting into character, if that makes sense, mainly because the amount of options you have in this game is simply better. I don't really know what other word to use besides better. Do I think there could be improvements? Definitely. I mean, GTA roleplay exists, and that seems like the most immersive roleplay possible. So yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I have a big respect for people that RP. Personally, I've never really done it, but I'm open to it. I've done a little bit of it, I guess. I've never done like an RP event. I think it could be fun. I mean, the party, we're going to an in-game party tonight, an FC's party, and I guess that's kind of considered RP.
Yes, it does have its flaws and it has its imperfections, and it's not like this is a game that millions of players run to for roleplay, but I do think it's one of the better games for it. Reason number 5. house building. You could also intertwine this with glamour.
One day,
but
baby,
I'm
we're
gonna
getting
talk
a
about
house.
that in another video. I love decorating in this game. I've never been rich
It's
enough
got
to
inbuilt
purchase
Sims.
my own house. I always either use FC rooms or a small apartment, but that doesn't stop me from decorating my own place to the best of my ability. I wish I could show you some of my projects, but the most I have right now is a little D&D room that I made, but I
like
lost
that.
my FC room when that disbanded, and I lost my other apartment when I moved servers, so
I think this
all
looks
I have.
good.
This is definitely not my best room ever.
D&D
It's a bit
room.
too wide open. It's kind
I
of
will be
cluttered
getting
with
a house,
items,
Sarah.
but I thought it would make for a pretty decent area to give people some D&D vibes. We got the table, we got the D&D sheets, we got all that stuff. I've been shown dozens and dozens of rooms from friends I've made in this game.
How much can you
and some of them are
customize it
straight
then?
up inspiring. I can't even fathom having the creative juices to make some of these things that certain players have been making. I don't know
You just
how
walk
some
into
people do
anyone's
it,
house.
but yeah, a lot of people make super crazy stuff. Just like many other aspects in this game, you have tons of options when it comes to building or decorating your own place to live. This game is the master of giving players freedom of choice.
Oh god, there's a
and I feel like
coffin.
it has more
It's for
freedom
you
of choice than
vampires.
any other game, and that is one of the biggest reasons why I think this game is loved by so many people and why there's so many people dedicated to this game. Like, this is the MMO that I'm gonna be playing for the longest time. I've tried so many other ones, and I just feel like this is the one for me because there's so many options that I can take, and none of them really feel forced. Or in other words, I don't feel like I have to do something. I can just choose what I want to do. That being said, these were 5 reasons why players love Final Fantasy XIV, and there's obviously so many other reasons, and I'm going to save the rest of those for future parts of this video. So if you want to see those parts as soon as they come out, then make sure you subscribe and turn notifications on.
Guys,
Again,
subscribe.
thank you so much for over 900 subscribers. I literally posted my first video at 0, and we're almost at 1,000. I don't even know what to say.
Good
but
video.
yeah, I'll see you guys
Thank
in the
you,
next one.
Heskin. That was very well made video. And good points also. I enjoyed it. We're gonna give it a like too. Yeah, I'm actually really hyped to try out the housing. Obviously, I don't know when I think I'm gonna unlock housing today, but I'm probably not gonna get a house for a while, right? But I think a really good stream for future will be like the house buying and decorating stream and stuff like that. And we can make like a, I don't know, we can theme the house around like what chat thinks and make like the house around the stream. And by then, I'd imagine we have a few like regular memes and whatnot in the stream. We can try and like give some Easter eggs and nods to some stream memes and stuff like that, right?